Hey everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. Thanks for coming on by and checking out this update review on my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Brought it in back on February 18th, so we're looking at about a month and 3 weeks, and it's been a powerhouse smartphone. It really, really has. Now, one of the things that I said before even the pre-orders went up was that if there wasn't going to be a big difference between the S22 Ultra and the S23 Ultra, that I was going to send it back. But there was one specific area that really got my attention, and I've mentioned it in every video I think that I have talked about the S23 Ultra, but I'll get to that in just a moment. First, connectivity with T-Mobile here where I live locally has been great. Okay, this device has given me everything that I need when it comes to phone calls that come in, that go out, the quality of the phone call, as far as being able to hear the other person on the other side and them hearing me clearly during conversation. And that's very important. Messaging going out, coming in, that has been solid as well. So I wanted to get that out of the way because, well, if I hadn't had that experience, it wouldn't be here. For what I do on my smartphones, not just the S23 Ultra, I do a lot, especially during the reviewing process. One thing that I really utilize my smartphones for is creating all my content with apps that I get from the Play Store. Once I'm actually done with the editing part of a video, I then have to process and upload to YouTube. And with all of that going on the background, with everything that I do, multitasking is huge for me. It's very huge. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. It's been an amazing experience with my S23 Ultra. Now, when it comes to battery life, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I just know that the S23 Ultra is very efficient when it comes to that area. From the moment that I wake up and unplug to the moment I plug back in, I've had up to 15 hours, even 20 hours. Doesn't mean I'm using it the whole time, but I'm getting 6 hours, 45 minutes, up to 9 hours screen on time. And in between that, it could be 7, it could be 8. Overall, at the end of the day, with what I do, what I throw at my S23 Ultra, especially when it comes to creating content, battery life has been efficient. Now, when it comes to that S Pen, I'm still not utilizing it the way that I would love to. I would love to adopt that into my life fully. I just can't seem to do that. This time around, I do find myself using the S Pen to doodle, to draw. Especially when I have to go to like a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, and I'm waiting. Yeah, I'll doodle. And for those of you that have asked me down below in the comment section about the S Pen having any issues with sporting a case and utilizing it, well, for me, I review a lot of cases, and with all the different cases that I've had on the S23 Ultra, and when I am doodling, drawing, I've had no issues. So let me nitpick here really quick on this display. And you're probably thinking, what is wrong with this display? It's one of the best out there. Samsung definitely delivers when it comes to a display, especially on their flagship smartphones. It's that curved edge. And I don't mind a curved edge. This is more of a personal nitpicking preference, okay? Sure, it's a little more minimalistic than the S22 Ultra, but I prefer a flat display. I would love to see Samsung come out with, maybe next year with the S24 Ultra, a flat display on a big device like this. That's what I would like to see. It's a beautiful display. It's vivid, sharp. Watching movies and videos is phenomenal. It's a great experience when it comes to my media intake. I just wish that we could get a flat one, that's all. The speakers are definitely great. They're loud enough. The quality of the audio that's being delivered into my ears is amazing. We can go over to YouTube. When it comes to the cameras, what I'm going to do is let the images speak for themselves. I'm going to throw up a pic slideshow. That way you can check out some pictures that I used when utilizing the front-facing camera and some pictures that I took when utilizing the rear camera. As far as the S23 Ultra, when it comes to the front and rear cameras, top notch, thumbs up. Okay, this device does not fall short when it comes to utilizing the cameras that Samsung has given us to use day in and day out. And yeah, I don't have anything bad to say. Now, I'm not a trained professional when it comes to photography and videography, but I've been doing this for quite a while now. And I do see the changes year after year after year, but they're little changes. Now, where the biggest changes for me, in my opinion, is when utilizing night mode, photography and videography. Amazing. And I told a lot of you in the beginning, before I brought this device in, before pre-orders, that if there wasn't something significant that I could see and experience with the S23 Ultra, it was going to go back. Right? I'm telling you, man, when I started shooting video in the dark and taking pictures in the dark, you can see the difference. Stabilization is amazing. The audio quality that you're getting from the videos that I'm shooting, amazing. All of that's there. All of that's working great. And probably just a little bit better than the S22 Ultra. Not a lot, but it's that night mode. Again, photography, video, just amazing. It was enough for me to say, okay, it's not going back. I'm going to keep it. That's all it took. At the end of the day, the S23 Ultra definitely has been a powerhouse experience with no hiccups, no lag, no matter what I've thrown at it. I'm glad that I kept it. I'm glad that that one area for me, when utilizing the camera in night mode, video, photography, it's just been simply next level. It really has been. If I could change anything, it would be the corners of this device, round those off a little bit more in design, and a flat display. But on the back, with those cameras being a little bit bigger, they definitely stand out. They're a little more bold, and I really love the look of the back of my S23 Ultra. But overall, I mean, I can deal with those little areas. That's just personal preference. Those aren't negatives, just personal preference. Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 definitely has to be the best chipset out there that allows everything to work. The overall user experience, One UI, it has been fun. It's a lot more minimal when it comes to bloat. I'm more of a stock Android guy, but hey, I'm digging what we have here. So yeah, it's definitely a flagship experience. And for what this device costs, it should be. Should you upgrade? Well, that's up to you. That's up to you. The S22 Ultra, if I had kept that, I would not complain at all. And that's basically it in the most simplistic way of sharing my experience with all of you. The goal was to just minimize the information, make it as consumer friendly in what I was sharing with all of you. I didn't want to hype up all the details because trust me, there's a lot when it comes to the S23 Ultra. A lot. There's a lot of stuff I haven't even gotten to. But eventually, hopefully, I will. But overall, I personally try to simplify my experience. It's heavy at one point in the game when it comes to the reviewing process. Then it slows down a bit, like I said earlier in the video. But even then, I don't get to everything. I didn't talk a lot about the 200 megapixel shooter that Samsung is so proud of when it comes to their cameras on the latest and greatest S23 Ultra. For me, 3 steps into getting to that area to take that picture, they're really good pictures. The images are great in what it offers. But am I that impressed? Not really. I'd rather just jump into the camera app, point and shoot with the 12 megapixel shooter, and those images are going to do it for me. They're great. Thumbs up. Yeah, I didn't talk a lot about that, but there are YouTubers out there that can give you a lot more info if you want to know when it comes to a lot of the other areas outside of the 200 megapixel shooter. Shout out Grant, man. He if you don't know who he is, he puts out some of the best videos when it comes to information on a lot of smartphones and their cameras, front and rear. So I would check out his channel. I can leave a link in the description area. The S Pen, like I mentioned, I don't do much but doodle on it. So there are other YouTubers out there that can give you a lot more information on the positives and negatives, especially when using a case on the S23 Ultra. If they've encountered any issues, what little I do, I have not encountered any issues. So again, there's a lot more I didn't cover, but this review was to just give you an insight on my experience when, even though I'm using it very heavy, I don't overcomplicate the time that I have with a smartphone. And I don't want to do that either when it comes to giving you a review or an update. I want you to understand what I'm saying to all of you without going, what in the world did he just say? You know what I'm saying? So basically with that, till my next video, thanks for watching. God bless you all. This is my Project 13. Peace. I'm out.